Y'all, this is not a normal Politbrawl video. This is a call to action, so to speak. This is a wake-up call. Donald Trump, on May 30th, 2024, was found guilty of charges that a former district attorney wouldn't dare touch. Why? Because the case was so flimsy that he thought he could never even fathom bringing it to trial. Meanwhile, a George Soros-backed district attorney ran against him, won, and promised his voters that his main goal would be to go after Trump. This is deliberate targeting. This is a deliberate attempt to use the law against a former sitting president who is now running for office again. This is, by definition, election interference. And once again, I am asking you, watch this clip in its entirety, and then ask yourself, what can you do to help solve this situation? Because America is at the brink. We are at the precipice. So let's dive in.
Thank you for joining us here today. Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts.
This case is an abomination. It's obviously political. 7 years to try to come up with this case. They're just wrong on the law.
The only crime that Donald Trump is being prosecuted for is the crime of running for president.
Political persecution at the highest level.
They've quite frankly given up on trying to beat him at the polls. Either going to steal it or stop it by law firm.
A Democrat prosecutor elected on a Get Trump platform.
What's going on here is a disgusting disgrace. It is war on Trump, it is war on the Republican Party, and it is a war on the Republic.
This case is the weakest case I've seen in 60 years of teaching, practicing, and writing about criminal law.
And I doubt the New York indictment would have been brought against a defendant whose name was not Donald Trump.
This judge, you don't need a prosecutor if you have a judge like this. This judge is not on the level.
It's a terrible case, but the judge has been pretty much a rubber stamp on everything that Bragg has wanted to do.
They're perverting the system of justice. That's where the danger lies. The corruption and subversion of our institutions by the left.
This is the Democrats' entire strategy, to confine President Trump to a dirty criminal courtroom and keep him off the campaign trail where he can bring his winning message to voters across this country.
New York has become a legal banana republic. They are so determined to get Donald Trump.
Look, convicting Donald Trump, that's all they have.
I think they have no cards. And they're depending upon Trump getting convicted.
That Trump train doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
The only verdict that matters is the verdict at the ballot box.
I'm not going to take the black pill just yet. Mainly because of what happened last night. What happened after part of the verdict was reached. WinRed, the #1 site for fundraising, which I have used in the past and used to make websites for, it shut down last night. It crashed. The entire website crashed because so many donations were flooding in that the website couldn't handle it. That's hope right there. That's hope right there, because we know what's going on. We can see that this case is terrible at nearly every single level. And it's an attempt to kneecap your political opponent. This is election interference. The very thing Democrats have been accusing Republicans of for over 4 years now. It is dirty, disgusting, anti-American, and ultimately anti-democratic. Hey y'all, this is a shout out to my friends over at Colonial Metals Group, where CEO Paul Stone and his expert associates fully understand the gravity of our current situation and want to protect your wealth backed by gold, silver, and other precious metals. Folks, we are in an era of record inflation. We have a Congress that won't stop spending and a president who doesn't even know what planet he's on. That's how bad the situation is, and that's why I'm partnering with Colonial Metals Group. And if you have a first-time account with these fine upstanding people, you will receive up to $7,500 worth of silver, a nice old safe to keep all the good stuff in. You will get Roth IRA accounts for free backed by gold and silver, and insurance and warranty on these items for 5 years, all for free. So call the number below or check out the link in the description and let CEO Paul Stone and his expert team help you now, because your wealth might evaporate before your very eyes. Protect your wealth, protect your family, protect your future with Colonial Metals Group today. Now, back to regularly scheduled programming. Do they not understand this? I should be shocked that these people not only exist, but they are being cheered on for trying to convict a former president in the middle of an election year. I'm going to share part of my political journey. In 2015 and almost all of 2016, I was a never Trumper. I was a Ted Cruz guy and a John Kasich guy. I loved both of them. John Kasich would have made an amazing president. Ted Cruz would have been a solid president. And we all know that Hillary Clinton would have been just a monster. And I'll get to her in a minute. And I was a never Trumper, however, because I didn't trust him. I didn't believe his message. I didn't like the way he said things. I was in the very same camp of low testosterone men and young women who have grown up post-Columbine and just hated the rhetoric of Donald Trump, mainly because they're both envious of masculinity, but that's a longer conversation. And so I was in that camp until, oddly enough, the Hollywood Access tape was leaked. And the moment it leaked, I didn't even recoil in horror. My first thought was, wait a minute. Y'all have had this for how long? This was back in what, 2003, 2000, maybe 2006? You've been holding on to this for over 10 years, and you decide now's the time to drop it as an October surprise? That's when I realized that the media was so filled with propagandists, liars, and charlatans that I realized that we needed a massive change. Anyone to help get change to take place. I happily cast my ballot for Donald Trump that year. Unfortunately, in 2020, I was so disillusioned. I even worked for the Trump campaign, but I got so disillusioned by the rhetoric that I briefly lost my mind. However, in 2024, I now know I have no other choice. I have no other option. The gas prices and grocery bills are eating me alive. The inflation that has happened under Joe Biden is just destructive to everyone that is not a rich white liberal, who is insulated from this society. If you own your own home and you paid off your mortgage, you probably aren't feeling the sting. But people who rent, they're feeling it. People in the inner city who have had their resources stripped from them to go to illegal immigrants, they're feeling the sting. People who haven't been lucky to own their own homes, they're feeling it. Ironically enough, the only people I know who are dumb enough to support Joe Biden are people so insulated from society that they don't understand that they have become the very thing that they used to rant and rave against. They have become the rich white liberals who now dominate everything. These people don't understand how bad things are out there. They don't understand that people were better off under Trump and his economic policies and his foreign policies. They don't get it because all they can see is the rhetoric, because that's the only thing that matters to them. This is a huge, huge Achilles heel for democracy, and I am very afraid for my republic. I am very afraid for this country. Because when you let a certain group of people care only about rhetoric and not about reality, you get essentially insanity. There is a mental disease that is just brain rotted us to the core where we don't understand what all's going on. Or rather, the rich white liberals have this problem. I don't think you do. I got over my problem, and I now see Trump as a solution. He's not the best solution. We could have had better ones. I'm going to be honest, I would have really preferred DeSantis, but I'm in Team Trump right now because the other option is so horrible, so awful that I have no other choice to now support a convicted felon. 3 weeks ago, women were telling men we choose the bear. Republicans are now telling the world, we choose a felon. That is how bad the system has gotten. We are choosing a felon over Joe Biden. Let that sink in. And then ask yourself, is Joe Biden that bad? And then if your answer is yes, and congratulations, welcome to the club. If your answer is no, Joe Biden's not that bad, then ask yourself, why is my neighbor so rabid about Trump? And why are all these poor people coming out of the woodwork who used to vote Democrat and are now realizing that the Democrats offered them nothing but lies and false hope? If you can't ask yourself that question, you're a deeply unserious person. We have to support Trump now. There is no alternative. There might be some shenanigans that go on with the conventions. It's possible. I'll get behind whoever wins that, but it can't be Biden. It cannot be Biden again. I can't make it another 4 years. That is the sad reality. That's why I'm currently on Team Trump. Folks, let us know down in the comments, how bad are things really out there? Let us know what you think the solution is to it. If Trump's the solution, whatever you think, let us know down in the comments. My name is Brian. Catch you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but y'all have a good one. And I hope it gets better after this election. We're on the precipice, y'all. Take care.